Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you on this Monday night. Cloudy skies out there today, still cloud cover across the area tonight, but that's actually keeping our temperature up a few degrees with readings that are still above freezing. 35 Springfield, Champaign, and 36 in Effingham. But we think that these clouds are eventually going to begin to clear. As that happens, that will allow for that temperature to start to come down, which may mean for you in the morning a little bit of frost on the windshield. We're going to say about 28 degrees. Just a quick brush. You should be okay there. When we come back, we're going to talk more about a big warm-up that's in store that you're really going to like. We'll share that with you coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A teenager is accused of setting his family's home on fire. What officials say about a case like this one. And he's a youth pastor and assistant football coach. Now, police say he's facing grooming charges.
And a new COVID treatment is being rolled out in central Illinois, who officials say it could help.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
You get all that resources there to obviously have a safe outcome.
But it's still a tough case to deal with after police say a teenager set his family's house on fire in Champaign. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons.
I'm Paul Cicchini. 18-year-old Trevor Lewis is accused of violating a restraining order and trying to hold his family hostage. WCIA 3's Jared Farmer joins us from the newsroom tonight. Jared, how are Lewis and his family?
Paul, Lewis is currently in the hospital being treated for burns. As for the family, none of them were physically hurt, but they are asking donations to help recover some of the things that they've lost. On Friday night, police say Lewis tried to hold his family hostage, then set fire to their house and barricaded himself inside after the family got out. Police say he has mental health issues. I spoke with the Champaign County Sheriff's Office about this case. They weren't the ones responding to the scene, but they say having a case like this is really uncommon. They do say that when dealing with mental health problems and violent patterns of behavior, it is important to be a de-escalating presence.
Anytime you're dealing with someone during a mental crisis, you don't know which way it's going to go. And that's why it's important to have the resources. We have CIT officers that are trained to deal with people who are having a mental crisis. And we get all that resources there to obviously have a safe outcome.
I also spoke with the Champaign County Mental Health Board. They say it's important when dealing with any traumatic event to frequently check in with the victims and make sure they're okay. If you would like to donate to the victims, we will have links for those on our website. Paul?
All right, Jared, thanks for that update.
Decatur police are looking for tips in a home invasion. This happened November 8th near North Morgan Street and East Garfield Avenue. Police say 2 people with guns approached the victim, forced her inside of her home, and threatened her. One suspect opened fire, but no one was hurt. The suspects got away with money in the victim's car. If you know anything, you should call police. A well-known youth pastor in Taylorville is out on bond tonight after prosecutors charged him with sex crimes against minors. WCIA 3's Mark Maxwell has the story from Taylorville.
Christian County State's Attorney Mike Havera says it's his mission to protect children from abuse.
It's #1 priority.
Monday morning, Havera filed 2 felony charges in court accusing youth pastor and assistant football coach Zach Crowley of using electronic devices to solicit, lure, and entice children for criminal sexual abuse.
The charge, and any charge dealing with minors, is always more difficult.
Taylorville police arrested Crowley Friday. Law enforcement sources say he sent sexually explicit messages in texts and on social media to young teenage boys.
Oh, of course, it's of utmost importance to us to protect the youth and from any of these type of allegations.
Crowley spent the weekend behind bars before posting bond and getting out Monday night.
Zach, what do you have to say for yourself? Zach, what do you have to say to those parents, those kids?
A court ordered Crowley to wear a GPS ankle bracelet while detectives seize cell phones, laptops, and scour hard drives.
You know, electronic devices are taken into evidence. They'll be sent to the State Police Crime Lab to be forensically analyzed.
And we move forward quickly as we can when something like this comes to light.
At this early stage in the investigation, the evidence law enforcement has reviewed so far only establishes contacts between Crowley and those teenage victims as text messages and social media messages, no physical contact yet established in the evidence they have submitted, yet they are still in the early stages of reviewing all that evidence with several search warrants out for his computers and cell phones and any electronic devices. Reporting in Taylorville, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Taylorville Christian Church did not comment on Crowley's arrest, but the Taylorville School District placed Crowley on administrative leave and issued this statement saying, quote, after speaking with police, there is no reason at this time to believe any person associated with the Taylorville School District was ever in any danger, and we have every confidence that all children and staff in our charge were and remain safe.
A man arrested on drug charges in Mattoon is now accused of intimidating a witness. That man you see on your screen right there was arrested Friday. He's accused of selling meth in Mattoon and having meth and a drug scale when he was taken into custody. Police say he later used a phone at the Coles County Jail to threaten a witness involved in the case. He's charged with possession and delivery of a controlled substance and intimidation of a witness. A few weeks after Springfield's fire chief announced his retirement, the city's police chief will also soon step down. Kenny Winslow was hired as the deputy chief over field operations and special operations in Franklin, Tennessee. He's been Springfield's police chief for 7 years. He'll start his new position January 19th. No word regarding his last day in Springfield.
A woman's in the hospital after she was stranded for hours following a crash. This happened early yesterday morning around 1 a.m. on a county road between Fisher and Dewey. Lizzie Williams says a truck hit her car, flipping it into a field. Williams says she was fading in and out of consciousness and her phone had been flung from her car. Once the sun was finally out, hours later, she found her phone and called for help. She says the driver who hit her had just left the scene.
Just for someone to drive off like that and not even stop and, not even help me, but just call 911. I mean, just to do something, and it's just infuriating. Just come forward. I mean, admit your mistake and own up to it.
Williams says it was a white or silver truck that hit her. She says she expects to be out of work for a while because of her injuries. A community is rallying around a family that lost a teenager in a deadly crash. Nadira Edwards was killed last week. Investigators say her car and a garbage truck crashed. People in St. Joe wanted to help out her family, so Heather Jones had the idea of starting a meal train. People sign up for a day where they can cook dinner for the family. The meal train is full now, but they're looking into expanding it to a few more days.
OSF is rolling out a new COVID-19 treatment after the FDA gave Eli Lilly emergency use authorization. The drug is being distributed at outpatient infusion sites across OSF healthcare locations. It's most effective when given within 10 days of showing symptoms. It's for patients who could be at high risk for severe reactions to COVID-19. OSF says Eli Lilly is working to ramp up production since it's such a new treatment.
We are receiving it on allocation, so there is a specific amount that OSF has been allocated, but we're anticipating that likely continuing to increase as the Lilly company is able to produce.
So far, Greer says OSF has been able to meet its patients' needs with what it's been given. Here's a look at today's COVID numbers statewide. Health officials are reporting more than 8,600 new cases, and that brings the total number of infections over 796,000 since the pandemic began. Positivity rate is down under 12% now, if there's a bit of good news. Nearly 5,200 people were in the hospital as of last night. In Region 3, 82% of the area's ICU beds are being used. In Region 6, it's 73%. 90 more people have died in the last 24 hours, and that includes 4 people from central Illinois. More than 13,300 people have died in Illinois since this pandemic began.
The Illini are facing off against Duke tomorrow, and it should be an exciting matchup, especially for the freshmen.
Plus this.
And I believe that you're approving of that.
When it comes to next year's budget, it was a unanimous yes from one city council. How they were able to stay afloat during this crisis.
Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.
Decatur City Council unanimously voted to approve its 2021 budget tonight.
This comes after the city found ways to cut nearly $2.5 million in spending. WCIA 3's Jen Lask shares what this upcoming year will look like for the city.
Across the country, cities, counties, and state governments are trying to figure out how to look ahead to the future financially after spending months just trying to stay afloat during the pandemic. In Decatur, City Manager Scott Wrighton had estimated back in August the general fund revenue shortfall would be anywhere between $5 and $5.5 million by the end of 2020. But those revenue drops this year were offset by almost $2.5 million in spending cuts. State and federal aid also helped bring the city to just roughly $500,000 in the red.
The austerity that we have practiced since April to reduce more than $3 million out of the general fund and significant funds, even out of non-general funds, we intend to continue doing that. And I've mentioned that at every budget session we've had since we started work on the 2021 budget, and I believe that you're approving of that.
Now, the City Council will have to turn its attention to handling climbing pension costs. Next year could bring a shortfall of $800,000. Reporting, I'm Jen Lask, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The council also looked at how to distribute more than $800,000 from a grant meant to help those impacted by COVID-19. 2/3 are already set to go to Dove for utility and rent assistance payments. The remaining 1/3 will go to small businesses. The council tabled figuring out its distribution plan for small businesses until next Monday. It's so they can figure out how to balance helping the businesses that have followed state regulations and those that haven't.
Kevin, it feels a little cool tonight, but I know things are looking up come the end of the week.
They are. We're going to see at least 3 days of 50-degree temperatures in mid-December. Can't complain about that very much. Recap today, 40 and 28. That's a little bit closer to what we typically see for this time of the year. When we come back, we're going to talk more about these above-average temperatures and when we may see a little bit of rain in the forecast. Stay tuned.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
So we've got calm conditions out there tonight. Cloudy skies. Those clouds have been around. Kind of an overcast day. We haven't seen a ton of sunshine here the last several days. And tomorrow we're going to start to change that, though. So that's some good news there. 35. Consistent temperatures here in the mid-30s right now, all along I-74 there, Danville, Champaign, and then down I-72 to Decatur and Springfield. And you can see those mid-30s ruling the area. Now, as skies begin to clear, we think 28 degrees in Champaign to start things out tomorrow morning. Maybe a 28 in Decatur, 29 in Shelbyville, with your cast low of around 29 also in Charleston. Okay, so let's look at some water towers. We take you to Royal, and a high temperature there expected to be around 42 degrees. That's a lot closer to what is normal. 43 degrees in Lovington, and in Charleston, again, a fairly nice day there at 44. Best day of the 7-day, though, is going to hit us on Thursday. This is looking great. I mean, we're talking 54 degrees. A mild day, a light breeze, and no issues there at all. Take a look at this graphic here as I kick another toy. Jeez.
Hey, at least it wasn't naval strike again.
So what did I kick this time? I clicked 100.
You kicked 100 games in one.
100 games in one. There we go. 100 games in one. There we go. I always give something.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is. It is indeed. So temperatures here, as you can see on this graphic that just flew on by. The red means a lot of warmth, and that's exactly what we're going to have here the next several days. 54, there's your beautiful weather Thursday. Even Friday still at 52, and then it gets cooler there on Sunday. So here's the big system here that arrives on Friday. It's actually going to bring us rain. And then on the back side of it, it may bring us a little bit of snow. So yeah, a few snowflakes finally in the forecast here, but it's not going to amount to a whole lot. Here's a closer view of the rain. Friday night and into Saturday, mainly a rain, and then we'll wrap around some of that colder air, and yeah, a few snowflakes possible. Rainfall amounts maybe a quarter to a half of an inch by the time it is all said and done. Again, this is going to be mainly a rain event with just a few hours maybe of some light snow. Very late Saturday into Sunday. 28, mostly cloudy with calm winds tonight, tomorrow, a high temperature of around 43 degrees, partly cloudy as things begin to warm up a little bit more. Don't forget you can download our WCIA3 weather app. Just search WCIA3 weather to get the very latest when you're on the go. Okay, let's take a look at the 7-day with lots of sunshine the next few days. Again, Toys for Tots is looking good. Friday, we've got the rain. Saturday, rain. And Sunday, we've got the snow. And I've got classic games, 100 games, all in one. I don't know how that's possible. There's 100 games in this box.
For $5.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good.
It's a good deal.
Match sticks. I don't know. Chess, checkers.
The rest of the newscast is him just reading the 100 games.
Come on, you would tune in for that, wouldn't you? Yeah, here we go. And there's like a bullseye thing, too. That's kind of fun. We'll feature a new
all
toy
the classics
every night as I kick them.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Looking for a bright spot. Here's one from Sherry. This is her dog Gunner in his holiday robe, waiting for Christmas treats. Love
Aren't
that.
we all? And this one's from Tammy. She says her fur baby is all ready for Santa and wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. We want to see your pictures and videos, so email us, send them on Facebook. We'll take them any way you send them.
A group is working to bring joy to people in nursing homes this holiday season. How you can help them do that.
Plus this.
It is really a good way to sort of give back.
Got an old bike lying around and don't know what to do with it? Where you can send it for a good cause.
news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
With Christmas right around the corner, the Bike Project in Urbana is getting into the giving spirit.
They're partnering with the U of I's Campus Bike Center to host a kids' bike giveaway. They're accepting bike donations for all ages. They'll take them regardless of the condition they're in because they'll fix them up before handing them out.
It is really a good way to sort of give back and be able to help people out without, charging them for them.
If you'd like to help out, you can donate a bike either to the Urbana Bike Project or the Campus Bike Center. That giveaway will take place at the Urbana Bike Project on the 19th. One group is looking to spread Christmas cheer one card at a time, but they need your help to do it. The administrator of the Dieterich Prayer Page, Kyle Webb, says they need names of nursing homes, group homes, or assisted living homes to send their cards to. He says he started this card drive after seeing residents in his grandfather's nursing home who didn't have any visitors. He says he wants to bring joy to those who need it most. So he gets cards from the community and then sends them to those facilities. To find out where you can send suggestions, you can head over to WCIA.com.
And here at WCIA 3, we have a way for you to give back to kids in need this holiday season. We're hosting our annual Toys for Tots drive on Thursday. We'll be in our back parking lot off South Randolph Street. We'll also be in Danville at Crossroads Christian Church on North Vermilion. That drive runs from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m.
All right, Marley, Alina, gearing up for another game.
And a big one at that. I mean, Duke is a name that, whether you're a college basketball fan or not, you know about them. And the Illini play them tomorrow. We'll have a preview coming up as they get ready. The freshmen especially, they're excited about this one. That's coming up next in sports.
From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA 3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
This would be the toughest, most challenging schedule in the history of the University of Illinois basketball.
And there's certainly no doubting that the Illini continue their non-conference portion of the schedule with a trip to Duke tomorrow for the ACC Big Ten Challenge. The Blue Devils are a big name in college basketball with a rich history, and the Illini are pretty excited for this one, especially the freshmen. Head coach Brad Underwood hasn't shied away from playing his rookies this season, and Andre Curbelo stood out against Baylor last week. He scored 11 points in just 16 minutes against Baylor, and he's looking forward to his next challenge against Duke. It's a program he admired as a kid.
A lot of people know, but that was like my dream school since, I was in Puerto Rico. I always liked the way they play and, having the opportunity to go against them now. And I think tomorrow we're definitely going to be an everyday guy. That way we come out ready to go and play for 40 minutes.
He's elite now, and I'm just throwing that out there. He's really good, and I'm so encouraged by that. So I'm excited about that for the future because he is really a load to handle in ball screens.
The Illini play at Duke tomorrow. Tip-off is at 8:30 Central Time. And the Illini are ranked 6th. Heading into this game, they actually dropped one spot from last week after they lost to Baylor. The Blue Devils are ranked 10th in the top 25 poll, meaning this is the second straight top 10 showdown for the Illini, and we'll continue to preview this matchup leading up to tip-off. The Your Illini Nation pregame show starts at 7:30 tomorrow on our digital channels. And a top-ranked team deserves a top-notch facility, right? Today, Illinois Athletics announced a $1 million gift towards the Ubben basketball complex renovation. It comes from the Brian Ingram family. He was actually an engineering school graduate. They now have $22 million in donations for their $35 million goal. The renovation project will add 40,000 square feet to the current building. And Illinois football looking to clean some things up heading into their rivalry game against Northwestern. The offense saw a sharp decline against the Hawkeyes. Brandon Peters was 8 for 8 to start, leading them to a 14-point lead, but then they crumbled. He missed the next 8 passes, and offensive coordinator Rod Smith credits that to just a lack of fundamentals and something they can improve on heading into this week.
To me, I'm not disappointed with Brandon Peters at all. Do I want him to play better at times? Sure, absolutely. I want them all to play better. But I thought he started off the game really well. And but every quarterback needs help. I mean, Brandon's not going to win the game by himself. He's not going to lose the game by himself for the most part. It's all 11 guys. So we got to make sure all 11 are going in the right direction.
Illini kickoff against the Wildcats at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Now, Northwestern, they've already clinched the Big Ten West title, so Illinois doesn't really have that to play for, but they'll go for the rivalry trophy, which, that's definitely worth something.
Playing for pride.
Absolutely, Paul.
All right, Marley, thanks. We'll be right back.
Bringing back some more sunshine tomorrow with highs right around normal. Jumping to the 50s on Wednesday and all the way up to 54 Thursday. When the weekend comes along and we're going to have a pretty good chance of rain around the area. Could get quite soggy Friday night and into Saturday. Could wrap things up with a few snowflakes into early on Sunday, but still no major snowstorms or anything looking on the horizon at all.
Well, all the more reason to come out to Toys for Tots on Thursday. We're going to be in Champaign and Danville. And good weather.
It's going to be beautiful.
We'll see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.